Hello everyone, my name is Megan Jones. I'm going to be a senior this year and I am graduating in the spring of 2020 with a degree in human sciences with concentrations in human sciences, health professions, and addictive disorders and recovery. And today I will be sharing with you my personal narrative on how I believe integrative studies has helped me throughout my college career. So a little bit about me. I was born on June 24th, 1998 in San Juan, Puerto Rico to my parents, my mom and my dad. My dad is from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and my mom is from Highland Park, Texas. My mom went to the University of North Texas, the University of Texas, and Texas A&M. She finally graduated from the University of North Texas with a fashion merchandising major. She didn't end up doing anything with it, which I don't know why, because she's very creative. She loves fashion, she loves design. But she ended up going into insurance. She sells insurance for Caremark, which is a company that owns CVS Pharmacy, and she is remarried. They both live in Coppell. That's where I ended up living all my life and going to high school and graduating from. And they own a shutter and blinds business. They also own the bait shop in Coppell, and they turned it into a convenience store, and we also do kayaking and stuff on it. So my family is very outdoorsy, but my dad, on the other hand, he lives in Miami, Florida, and he has always been really into movies, so he was a producer for a company called Univision, which did commercials in Spanish for movies that were about to come out. Building upon that, my parents were they have never been involved in the medical industry, which is interesting because that's always what I have been interested in doing. I've never known why it interests me. I think it's just the fast-paced environment and the idea of helping people when they're in need. That's always been my thing. So when I was graduating from high school, I decided that I would go to Texas Tech after I did not get into the University of Texas. That is where I wanted to go to school, but I ended up choosing tech, and I'm so glad I did. And I picked the major in nutrition, and it was pre-med nutrition. It wasn't nutrition and wellness or nutrition and dietetics. I was pre-med for my first 2 or 3 years of college. I think it was 2.5 years that I was pre-med. And I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this at all. And honestly, nutrition and dietetics never even really interested me. It was just something that my mom was like, oh, you should do this. It seems so interesting. Like, it would be really, you would be good at it. Like, you would be good at figuring out diets for different types of people and listening to what they want. And so she thought I would be good at it. So when I did go to college, I signed up for the major nutrition pre-med. About 1.5 years into my major, I wanted to switch. I wanted to go into elementary education. I have since then decided that that is not the route for me either. And so I stuck with nutrition for about a year later, like a year more, and basically I was going to continue with it until I had my fall of 2018 advising appointment in the Human Sciences building. My advisor basically told me, you will not graduate in 4 years, you do not have the grades to continue in this program because it is pre-med. You will just be a pre-med major, which is, it's not going to do anything if you are not planning on going to medical school. She basically said, you're going to be here for another 3 or 4 years. If you want to graduate with this major. So my whole world was just like, oh my goodness, I have to figure out like what I'm going to major in, and that is where I found human sciences. So when I first decided that I was going to major in human sciences, I had no idea what concentrations I wanted. It was kind of just an idea that my advisor had thrown out there, and she was like, you could graduate on time. It would be like things that interest you. So I decided to do it, and the way that I picked my concentrations, which are addictive disorders and recovery, health professions, and human sciences, I decided upon those because I wanted to go into the medical field and I wanted to go to a specialization school. So that is why I chose those. So after I decided that I was going to be a human sciences major, I basically decided that I would have two options when I graduated from college, and both of them were going to be specialization school. My first option was I was going to go to surgical technician school and be a surgical tech or a scrub tech, which is basically the person in the operating room who hands the surgeons the tools, and they can move up to be a surgical first assist, which is basically the surgeon's right-hand man. My other option was that I would go to dental hygienist school and become a dental assistant. And over the past couple of months, I've thought long and hard about it, and I believe that I'm going to go to dental hygienist school. It just interests me more. I like the idea of working in a 9-to-5 dental office and working under somebody, which is why I have decided upon it. But one of my main goals in life is to have a family and be married and have children of my own. That's always been something that I want more than anything. Even if it meant that I didn't have to work, like I would spend all day cooking and cleaning and being a mom, and that just sounds very exciting to me. I think that's why I never really put so much emphasis on what I was going to do in my major, and why I kind of just messed around and finally just decided on something. And it was sort of, when I found out about integrative studies, it was sort of the easy way out. But now I see that integrative studies is going to be extremely useful for me in my life, not just allowing me to understand and make connections between all of my courses and all of my different concentrations and how they intertwine with each other, but also just in life, it allows me to understand ideas and listen to other people and what they have to think, and how we can all come together in order to solve one problem or one just issue that people have. Because I have decided to go to dental hygienist school, I believe that my 3 concentrations will have different benefits on how they can help me. First being human sciences, which is basically just, I believe, just the science of how people work, how people interact, how people understand each other. And I believe that this will be helpful because this is a job that I will have to connect with people. I will have to talk to people while I do whatever to them, clean their teeth. So I believe that this will be a helpful concentration in order to succeed in my career. My next one, addiction disorders and recovery, and this is really the only one that I kind of had to dig a little deeper to find a reason as to why this could be helpful. But I believe it is just how to understand people. A lot of what addiction disorders and recovery is listening and understanding why people do the things that they do to themselves. So I believe that this will be helpful to me as well. And my last concentration, health professions, I believe will obviously be helpful because this is something like cleaning people's teeth is a part of their health. Going to the dentist is a part of everyone's everyday health. So I believe that this will be helpful as well. The main connection that I want integrative studies to help me with whenever I graduate from college and start life on my own is basically the ability to connect with others, whether that be my friends, my coworkers, a spouse. I believe that integrative studies will allow me to understand what other ideas people have, what other beliefs people have, and how to listen and criticize constructively, how to be a better person, how to be a better friend, how to be a better listener. I believe that it will help me in that area. I believe that integrative studies and my picking my human sciences major with my 3 different concentrations has helped me succeed in college rather than just settle to fail. Without it, I probably would have dropped out of college because I really just didn't want to be here for another couple of years doing something that I just didn't like. And now I have the ability to do great things with myself and the ability to just go out there and show the world my gifts, my values, how to understand people, and basically just allowing me to do something that I love to do, which is awesome.